We've got about 20,000 of these working now in the saltwater environment. This one, of course, is not saltwater. So I'm going to show you how it works, and then we'll look into the deck wash valve itself and see how you can assemble it. This one we have assembled on the building. We've had it here for many years, and it works perfectly and does not give us any leaking problems, just as it won't on your boat. This one is our standard connector. You'll see here I have a little bit of a elbow. It gives me some assistance in putting it in, especially if we have high pressure. The pressure I have on here is 40-60, so generally right now it's probably at 60 pounds. The small little balls here that engage right into that cam slot and on. You can see how easy that was to do, and there was no blow-by, no leak. So you can see we've got quite a lot of pressure, a lot of flow coming through the valve. This hose here is not going to go back against you, and it's easy to handle. This is a 10-foot hose, and this hose will hang doubled over in your wet locker, always ready for use, not schlepping around a whole pile of hose. So 2 of these deck wash valves on your boat will cover a 36-foot boat with just a single 10-foot hose. So on, I can also disconnect under full pressure, and I can reconnect under full flow, just like that. Now you'll notice if I disconnect here, I don't get any blowback. No blowback on the hose, although you saw there was still pressure in the hose. So we use Viton O-rings. This one has been on here more than 7 years. We still have 13 years left on our patent. This one's been on more than 7 years. The O-rings are Viton. It's the highest quality O-rings we can find. They just don't wear out, and they don't leak, and they don't rot away. It comes in a box like this, and this is what you have, and I'm going to show you here the different components and how they work. Here you're going to see what I call the hose wand. It has a little white cover here, and it's meant just simply to hold in the check valve. There's 3 components to the check valve, and all that check valve does is when you disconnect the hose under pressure, and we'll see that, it closes and prevents blast back out of the hose. So it goes in this way. First of all, the check valve drops in, then the spring, and the washer. Now this will then screw on to your hose and probably be a permanent part of your hose. It's not necessary to take it off unless you need a new hose. So that comes there. And we have the little white cap just to keep it from getting lost until you use it. The white cap is thrown away. The valve itself is simplicity and can be mounted as this one is here on a bulkhead, or it can be mounted flush. You'll see there's nothing to hang up your lines or stub your toe. I'm going to take this apart and show you how simple this is and why in the saltwater environment we have no trouble. You can see it's very little to go wrong. That's the inner valve, and it has a Viton O-ring on it that seats in a chamfer there, a stainless steel spring, and that's how it works. Has another Viton O-ring here, seals, so you don't need to use any Teflon tape or any other seals. It just needs to go down hand tight, and it sets the O-ring. It's now ready to go. So what happens is when the wand is engaged into the valve, before this inner valve unseats, this O-ring seals. So this way, when you engage the part, you get no blast through of water in the process of engaging the hose. This disconnecting, this valve I showed you before, closes and prevents backblast out of the hose. Eventually we have plans to create our own hoses using the same concept here with a coupler on one end and this on the other end, because we found, and you probably have too, that the hose swivels are what always leak. So in this case, our connector never leaks. So we have a plan to put this whole unit right on here as an integral part of the hose. Let me show you the versatility of this valve. Remember that this replaces an outdoor sillcock on your house even. So in this configuration right here, I have a small ball valve on it. So if we plug this in and I wanted to control the water, I can control it with the ball valve. You can have this on so you can engage the hose and then turn the water on whenever you want. So this works very well, for instance, if you're on a dock and you're taking in fresh water from the dock. Now, if you took one of these and put it on your deck or on the side of your hull, now you can plug your dock water directly into your boat. Now, what I would do is come out of here and run it to 2 deck wash valves that are already on your deck. So instead of having to schlep around 20, 30, 40 feet of hose, you're only going to have a 10-foot hose to your dock, and then your 10-foot hose that you're going to use to wash down your boat with fresh water. So with 3 of these, you can accomplish that very effectively and plumb the deck wash valves that are on your deck with PVC, 600 psi PVC, cheap and very effective and durable. So this valve has those kinds of versatility. So incoming water onto your boat, charging your deck. You could actually fill your tanks. Many other functions for this valve.